Hey guys, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, the afternoon, or in the evening, I am glad you're here. Today we're going to do something a little different. We are going to take a look at some of the sliciest knives under $100. I would call them budget knives, but I know budgets are different things for everybody. So a lot of these will be sub $50, but all of them will be sub 100. And what makes them all uniquely slicey is the blade geometry, the blade thickness, um, and just the way the knives are set up. I think it mainly comes down to grind and sharpening angle. Most of these will be sharpened at the same 17 degrees. But the first one we're going to talk about is the CJRB Maileah, which is the Swags designed by CJRB that was more of a medium size or medium sized knife. This knife has an extremely slicey blade. It is great for processing cardboard, slicing through paper, you name it. I hit a bump there. It is slicey. Behind the edge, .012 right behind the edge. Nice knife. G10 RRPN 9 is CJRB's proprietary steel, but the CJRB Maileah is a slicey knife, and if I'm not mistaken, this guy comes in right under 50 bucks. Moving on, we will come to the Devo OG Growler. The Devo OG Growler has this super tall 3/4, I'd say 6/7/8 flat grind that comes down to a very, very slicey edge. Fantastic blade geometry. It's just a fantastic slicer. Simply just glides through paper. It is .0190. What I get behind that, and I'm not getting a perfect reading, guys. I'm getting it close right here at the heel, at the belly. But if you could feel this edge that's not been touched by me, this is a factory edge. It is super, super sticky. It really is a slicer. It's one of the knives that I've been most excited about from Devo, especially about their premium version coming out, and the V2, and then the one being made in America. The OG Growler came in at about $82 before my 10% discount. So I want to say it was 72 bucks in 14C and micarta, and it's just a great slicer. So moving on, we come to a knife from Vosteed. We actually have more than one knife from Vosteed in here. They have kind of nailed the slicey budget knives or sub $100 knives in my opinion. The way that the blades are set up, the blade geometry. This is a tall, again, about a 9/10 flat grind that comes down to this really sharp edge. That just roll through material. Just a super, super edge. And it's also going to be very thin behind that edge. We get down on it right below the cutting bevel, .0150. Super slicey knife. And that is the Vosteed Racoon. This knife, I want to say, is about $72. Comes in a button lock. You can also get it in a bar lock. If I'm not mistaken, it comes in a liner lock, but I could be mistaken. But we'll move on from there and we'll go to our number 2 Sliceyest knife, which is also my number 1 value budget knife of 2023. There are a couple more that could unseat it, but right now this is the Miguron Moyarl, and it is, again, from the top here of the blade, a super tall flat grind that is just slicey as the day is long. I mean, it makes barely any noise going through that paper. Just a pleasure to cut with. That was a cutter error. That's me hitting the choil. I should have my finger up there. So the Miguron Moyarl is just a little slicing dynamo. I mean, it's got a great blade shape. It's got fantastic deployment. Has a great titanium pocket clip. Fantastically milled T8 hardware. Really well done G10. Love the stone washing on the blade, and I love the sliciness of the blade. So our number 2 knife in our slicey under $100 knives is going to be our Miguron Moyarl. So coming down to our sliciest budget knife, it's going to be the Vosteed Nightshade. The Vosteed Nightshade, and this doesn't end with this knife, guys, is a super slicey specimen. This is the TH, or the thumb hole version. 0.16. So they also make this knife in a flipper, thumb studs, and in this pill-shaped deployment hole. Let me grab some more paper. So you've got this blade that is just shaped and designed to cut. That's what it's made for. And it is very slicey. Keeps the material in the path of the cut. Works through it like it's nobody's business. Whoops, cutter error. Trying to think of the name of this blade. Y'all know it's not a sire blade, it's something. They call it a simpler. I forget. It's got some kind of shape to it. But I mean, guys, this thing is very slicey. I almost just cut my finger rubbing it against it because it is so tall and flat, and it comes down to such a keen edge. And this knife was about the slices. You can see the scratches on the blade from where it's run through all kinds of cardboard. And again, just runs it down the length of the blade, chops it up, 154 cm. Well, then I was at Blade Show and I discovered this little guy at the Vosteed booth. This is the Nightshade Mini. The Nightshade Mini is not only a good bit shorter than the Nightshade, it is a great deal thinner. So what that results in, even though this is number 1, this is part of number 1, this little knife is a razor blade. Laser beam, comfortable little slicer. Has not touched a strop, has not touched a stone. This is a factory edge, and I mean, it is sharp. Behind the edge, .160. So that's the Vosteed Mini Nightshade, which I really put in the same category as the Vosteed Nightshade, since they're both nightshades. This guy was about $72 before my 10% discount. This guy was right around the same price. The Miguron Moyarl, which was our second slicey knives. This is $47, $46, under 50. We have the Vosteed Racoon, which is right around $70, super slicey. We've got the Devo Growler, right around 80 bucks before discount. And then the one we started with is the CJRB, more Malia. The Malia would have fit in there too, a little fifth pocket knife. I just didn't have room for it here at the end of the video. So I figured I wouldn't bore y'all with cutting through two. Plus I wanted to show off a little bit of the mini Nightshade because it's such a good slicer. But guys, hope you found that enjoyable. Those are 5 random slicey knives out of my collection that are well under 100 bucks. I appreciate you checking out the video. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you checking out my live streams. I appreciate it if you take the time and you subscribe and hit that bell notification icon. It would mean the world to me. I'd ask you that you please look out to the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.